So if I were to ask you what I made most of my money on today, what would you say, right? So I posted on Instagram that I was up a little bit over $30,000 on the day. This is my Fidelity account. Literally everyone in my direct messages, right? As I'm sure a lot of you guys would have assumed, AMC stock, right? I did trade AMC stock, and even on my Fidelity account, it does make up for a portion of it. But that's not where I made most of the money today. And this is what I'm most excited to talk about. So make sure that, again, if you learned something new in this video, you drop a thumbs up and, of course, consider subscribing. So AMC stock, first off, very, very bullish. This was all caught within today's live trading session. I ended up locking in profits pretty early on AMC stock. So I missed out of the 6 to almost 7% that it gained today. I probably captured about 3% of that. I locked in $2,500 profit on AMC stock, and I'm very grateful for it. But that is not where this $34,000 comes from, right? What stock pushed up today over 10%? What stock today pushed up over 12%? What stock today pushed up over 14%? It's Roku. Roku today announced, and again, please look into this a little bit more, it gapped up during the pre-market session because of its partnership with YouTube. And it's going to continue its partnership with YouTube when they were in the talks of potentially, discontinuing that partnership. It went from 214 as of yesterday's close to highs of 248 as of right now. I went in aggressive. I've sold most of my position already, and I wanted to show you this. I sold 150 shares at 246, 110 shares at 247, and I have a limit order to sell another 100 shares at 248. So their alone is about, I think, 60 to 70,000. Oh, so I would have gotten filled already. Their alone is about 60 to 70,000 dollars worth of Roku. On Roku alone today, I made a little bit over 15K. I was in it at one point with $150,000. It's still bullish. It's still trading above the EMA line. It's still indicating signs of an uptrend. Now, the question that I know everyone's going to ask is, should you buy Roku? One of the things that you'll notice about my videos versus other people is I will never encourage you to trade what I'm trading to hope that it continues to push up. I don't need you to trade what I'm trading for me to make money, right? If anything, I like to convince you not to trade this. And the reason why, let me talk about why I'm selling Roku, right? So if you're asking the question, should you buy Roku? I do see potential on Roku. If you look at it on the year chart, yeah, it was very, very bullish. It's a stock that did very well during pandemic conditions. But ever since its peak at 490, it's been selling off. What's one of the biggest focuses that I like to encourage beginner traders to have? Direction. Allow the direction to be in your favor. Right now, Roku is the exact opposite. What might make sense for a day trade doesn't make sense for a swing trade. And that's kind of what I want to bring up to you. When's the last time that Roku traded above the EMA line like this? It's been a while. Roku hasn't done this in a really long time. Roku, like we've seen before, every reaction tends to be an overreaction in the stock market. And it's not to say that Roku can't continue to uptrend. As we're seeing it right now, it's breaking about 15% gain on the day. That's fine if you want to day trade it. What I don't want to happen is that you jump in super late at 249, which is obviously overbought based off of recent prices, and then maybe not tomorrow, but the next day or the day after that, Roku loses its hype, the news of that YouTube partnership, and then guess what happens? Just like every other hyped up stock, it will correct itself. You need to understand the difference of a swing trade when it's bullish and a day trade when it's simply just relevant. And in my opinion, and I'm telling you this as someone that's invested in Roku, I wouldn't buy Roku right now because of its direction and because of how much it overreacted today. I just would hate for you to get in and then it drop because of how overbought it already is. It's not to say that Roku can't recover. It's not what I'm here to say. It's just that after something gaps up 15%, I can't be surprised if it pulls back or corrects itself in some form of way. And I just don't want you to get caught on that peak and then you ride it all the way back down, right? I'm trying to look out for the beginner traders. Another stock that we killed it with today, I really began to step on the gas when it began to indicate signs of an uptrend. This was all caught during today's live trading session, is Snapchat. Look how bullish Snapchat is. It's holding well above the EMA line, as well as, it's bullish, it's consistent, it's trading above the EMA. But now we're at the moving average. This wasn't a very bullish stock before. It's been selling off, which is, again, it brings me back to the same thing. It makes sense to potentially lock in profits on Snapchat today, right? Or sell most of my position because of how overbought it looks as of right now. And then the last one that I want to talk about is, let me pull it up. Pinterest was one of them. That one's up 5.5% if you guys want to look into it. And another one is PTON. Altogether, there's a lot of stock that are gapping up today, while some are kind of like, like TQQQ isn't really reacting today. You just have to understand the main focus of this video is, I can, just like anyone else, I can hype up Roku. I can be like, oh my God, like I made $34,000. Everyone buy Roku. But it's like, understand what just happened, right? Understand the difference of when you miss out on an opportunity, which is okay, right? And then forcing a trade that you shouldn't be taking just because it's up 15%. And that's what I want you to understand. It's great that myself and some other Learn Plan Profit traders were able to catch Roku, that we're able to catch, PTON, that we're able to catch Snapchat. But you need to know when enough is enough, right? When something is a day trade and when something is a swing trade. It's not just about, hey, this thing's up 8%. That doesn't mean that it has to gap up another 8%. When something gaps up over 5%, over 10%, you should begin to ask yourself that magical question of, hey, maybe it's so overbought that it's due for a pullback. Kind of just like what we saw yesterday with the market, right? Everything pushed up yesterday. And most of the market, just like we saw today, is kind of break even. It's kind of just consolidating because it moved so much yesterday that today it has nothing left to give, right? You need to know the difference from a day trade versus a swing trade, holding it for a number of days. And again, that's exactly what we like to cover within our live trading session. So, I even wanted to give a shout out to one of our new LPP members. So I made my investment back today with the money I spent on LPP, and this person just joined, right? So it's super great to see people take action, but what's most important is people taking action in an effective way. Anyone can make money. Anyone can be in the green. That's not the special part, but it's knowing when to lock in profits when you know something is overbought. That's what can set you apart, right? Because while everyone else continues to hold and the stock pulls on back and they write it back down into the red, again, people that understand when to lock in profits can wait for that dip buy opportunity, load up on it, just like all of us did, right? And then we can make the money as these stocks begin to recover. That's the beautiful thing about trading, and that's the beautiful thing about investing. Knowing when to buy when others are panic selling, right? Because they don't understand what is going on. It is our job to understand and make sense of the situation and take advantage of the opportunities that we see the most value in. So again, I wanted to invite you, if you guys want to be able to watch me trade live literally as soon as tomorrow, I'm going to put the link down in the description. It's our Learn Plan Profit group, and it's literally the only group that I work with on a closer basis. I offer no other service. If you get a message from me on Instagram, it's probably a fake account if it's over email. I don't ever message you first. Let me just be blunt. If you message me, yes, I do respond. I have one Instagram account and that's it. I never message you first. I never ask for you to do crypto investing. I never message you over email asking you to message me through WhatsApp. That's all just fake accounts trying to pretend to be me, right? My only service that I offer is I trade live every morning. I break down what I see value in and I answer your questions in real time, like no one else, right? If you want to join us as soon as tomorrow at Market Open, click the first link in the description. You can join us and watch me trade live at Market Open. Until then, continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.